What's up everybody, Joe from Mojo Break Gaming here. Today I have an exciting video. This is going to be the RagnaLordmon updated deck profile for BT10. In case you guys didn't know, RagnaLordmon and JessMon have starter decks that are coming out as well. And we will be showcasing some of these cards right here, right now. Let's go ahead and talk about RagnaLordmon. It's honestly a really fun archetype. It's fusing both black and red, as we saw with Black War Greymon doing black and red combos. This is another black and red combo deck that honestly works really well. The starter deck cards are very good for this deck. Starting off, we're going to go ahead and showcase the 4 Spadamon. Spadamon is going to be your egg card in this deck. You're going to run a playset of that one. And he has a cool effect which almost happens all the time. When you play another Digimon with legend arms and its traits by an effect, gain 1 memory. And I'll show you how. Zubamon is going to be a level 3 Digimon card that you're going to need. We run a playset for the reason that you can place this card underneath one of your Digimon that's black or legend arms and its traits as a bottom Digivolution card. If you do so, you may reveal the top card of your deck. So again, tucking that card underneath one of your other Digimon, and by doing so, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a Digimon with legend arms in its traits and has a play cost of 7 or less, you can play it without paying its memory cost. How crazy is that? You could potentially put this Zubamon level 3 on play in the opening game and potentially get a level 5 right off the bat. Because in the level 5 stacks, you have play cost of 7 or less, and they serve as legend arms, which is really good. And when you're able to play a Digimon without paying its cost, and this is when you're able to play a Digimon by an effect, you're triggering Spadammon's effect by gaining a memory on top of that, which is really cool. So those 2 cards already show you the synergy of what this deck is doing so far. Another card that does the exact same thing as Zubamon is Ludomon. It's literally the exact same card. The only difference is their inherent effects. The inherent effect here is if you have red Digimon that's red or legend arms, you get blocker. This one is if you have a black Digimon or legend arms, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 or less. So those are the only differences between the 2. We're also going to run 1 Chikurimon because we want to be able to stop opponents from reducing their play cost with the Digicross combo effects. So maybe splashing 1, maybe even 2 of these could be really good. So we're gonna have to kind of see how it works right there. Going over to the BT10 side of things, we're gonna go ahead and look for a certain level 3. This is called Spadamon. This card you'll see it talked about quite a bit. It's really good. It is a 4 play cost, which is the downside, and it is a 1 evo, which is also a downside, but you're really using it for its on play effect here. Same thing as Zubamon and Ludomon. You can play this card, tuck it underneath one of your Digimon to de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. And mind you, you can only tuck it under Digimon with Legend Arms or X-Cross in order to trigger the de-digivolve 1. And then it also unlocks a really strong inherent effect, which is what we really want. And we kind of want to see this almost all the time. Whenever you do attack, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 card with Legend Arms or X-Cross in its traits among them to your hand. The rest go to the bottom. So he's just a constant when attacking searcher. As you've seen a lot of other decks, it's on play search. This one's a when attacking once per turn search. That's going to be our level 3 lineup, as you can see here. In total, we're running 13 3s. Going into level 4s, I find that I really like the Zuba-Eagermon here and also the Tia-Ludamon. The reason why I'm bunching those together so we could talk about those faster. Play set of each. In total, we have 8 here. On play, by placing this Digimon underneath one of your Digimon, you can basically delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 or less, which is really good if you need it to apply. I like to just kind of evo this into my stack egg area and to just kind of build them up pretty strongly and not have to worry about anything else really. He's good if you need to on-play him, but he's also good for the inherent stack as well. Also, he has a when attacking. If you have a Digimon card that's Legend Arms, black or Legend Arms in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 or less. Tia-Ludamon, really good. I like the black base on this deck profile. They're really cool. This one works with your opponent's turn in the inherent. If you have a Digimon that's red or Legend Arms, you get blocker. One of your Digimon gains reboot. So you can play this card, tuck it under one of your Digimon that has Legend Arms, which is going to be the case, and you give it reboot until the end of your opponent's turn. And then by tucking this, you're giving it blocker as well. So it's basically you play, tuck underneath, get reboot blocker. Really, really good card. So that's going to actually do it for my level 4s right here. I think more importantly, we want to focus on certain cards that are play costs of 7 or as close to that number as possible. So specifically upping this deck profile specifically to focus on more level 5s, I think would really, really help. These are great for Evos and stuff like that. Obviously, like, you know, Tia Ludemon's really, really good. But let's focus on more. For my build, I think I want to focus more on the level 5s here. So going into the level 5s, I'm going to go ahead and choose 2 RagnaLoordmons from BT3. Reason being, I really, really like the Digivolve effect here. It serves as a play cost of 7 or less, which can trigger the rookie effects to get this guy on the field, and it's just to help me get into the 6 and then the 7, which is really, really cool. So adding 2 of him, we want to focus on a consistent color. So you're welcome to also pick the Duramon as well. Duramon is another really cool one. He basically gives you sec +1 on your Digimon right there if you have a level 7 Digimon, which can be really, really relevant and go super aggro right there as well. But right now we're going to focus on the Digivolve effects, maybe because we feel like that could potentially be a lot more worth it in the long run than the sec +1. We're going to be running 4 Duramons and 4 RagnaLoordmons as well, in addition to the 2 RagnaLoordmons. Reason being, this card is really good because it has end of turn you may Jogress into the RagnaLord. So that's really, really good. You're going to want this card showing up a whole lot in your inherent effects. So to see him on play, really, really good. He also works with the level 3s. And then he says on your turn, when you would Digivolve into a card that's black or Legend Arms in its traits, you can reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. That card is really, really relevant to a lot of other decks too. Like if you're running black based with black and red, you can also use this card to reduce its Digivolution cost right there. And then if you're doing Jogress moves, you can also trigger this effect too, maybe later in the future. So Duramon's really, really, really strong for that reason, reducing your Digivolution cost. And then RagnaLoordmon's really, really good too, because on this effect says your opponent's turn, this Digimon cannot be deleted by your opponent's effects. So whether they use an option card to delete you or a Digimon card to delete you, he will not die. Raiju will not die. He also has the Jogress end of turn inherent effect, which is really, really good. He's a 7 or play cost or less, which again serves for those level 3s as we mentioned. And we'll move forward to our 6s. 4 RagnaLoordmons for the reason that it's really freaking strong. So if you're going to Evo, let's say off of the Duramon level 5 that I talked about, you could potentially make this a 3 Evo, right? Because you're reducing the Evo cost by 1. This says when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You can play 1 Digimon card, Legend Arms and its traits, and a play cost of 7 or less among them without paying its memory cost. So again, it basically on Digivolve serves a really good search, and you get to play and flood board and spread board, which is really, really good. So let's say, for example, we go into the reveal top 3 and we find a Zubamon here or a level 4 Zuba Eagermon. This will trigger the on play effect, where we can on play, tuck this card underneath one of your Digimon. In this scenario, it'll be tucked under this Digimon here, and then you can trigger the once per turn effect when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon. Your opponent's effects can't delete this Digimon or return it to its hand or deck until the end of your turn. So you're comboing this Digivolve effect to hopefully proccing it into playing another Digimon, tucking it underneath, triggering this to protect itself from dying or being returned to hand or deck. Really, really strong card. It also has an inherent effect for RagnaLordmon in case you go into that. When this Digimon is RagnaLordmon, it isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. So if your opponent wants to Digivolve something or delete something or reduce its DP, it's not going to be affected with this inherent effect. So that's why you want to play set. I know it's a little bit complicated and there's a lot to talk about, but it's so you can understand what's going on with this deck. Durandamon is going to be the red level 6 playset of that one, because we want to trigger again the effects here. This one's a when attacking reveal top 3. You can play 1 Digimon card with Legend Arms with a play cost of 7. So RagnaLoordmon's a when digivolving. This one's a when attacking. Same effect applies, same combos apply. And once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digimon underneath this Digimon card, same to RagnaLoordmon, but except this one gets plus 3 DP, 3000 DP, and security plus 1. Really, really good. With this Digimon is, and also the inherent effects, when this is RagnaLoordmon, it doesn't activate security effects on option cards. So it's your delicate plan right there. So you don't need to run delicate plan. This card's got you covered if you have this in play. Reason why we run a playset of the level 6s is because we want to get into our level 7 right here. RagnaLoordmon. He's a Jogress 0 from 2 level 6s, red and black. When he digivolves, he gets Blitz. Also, when DNA digivolving, for every 4 cards in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 20 or less and trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So not only are you deleting something, you're trashing a security card for every 4 cards in its source, which can be a lot. You could potentially trash like 3 or 4 security and then swing with Blitz and just like pop off. That's kind of why you don't need so much security plus 1, because you're doing the whole trashing your opponent's security, which is basically better than security checks anyways, since they're not going to be activated. They're just getting trashed, which is really, really good. All turns when this card is removed from a player's security stack, you can... Okay, all turns when a card is removed from a player's security stack, whether you're removing whether you're trashing their stack or doing a check or they're checking your security, you can unsuspend this Digimon, which is really, really good. The reason why that's good is because he has some cool inherent effects, as we mentioned. He could potentially have blocker, which is really, really good. So that's the reason why as well is, and basically he can prevent himself from being swung at if you're suspended, which is really, really nice. So unsuspend him feels really, really good there. Also, if you have the Ludomon, that also gives you blocker. So there's ways to get you blocker, you know what I mean? So that's going to go ahead and do it for our level 7s in the starter deck. We're going to actually, because I like this card so much, I'm going to actually splash one of RagnaLoordmon. He's also really good too. He could still kind of work. He's more of your aggro card. You'll get Reboot as an effect here, and Sec +1. You'll also on Digivolve be able to place a Durandamon or a RagnaLoordmon underneath him in order to gain 3 memories, so potentially making him a free Evo just like that in case you don't have the Jogress effect here. Maybe this card can kind of get the job done and potentially be a blocker. Tamers, obviously we want to get aggro, so running 3 ties is really, really good. So if we have more than 1 tie, we're going to go ahead and trigger the security +1 effect in case we do need it. So having those are really, really good. So we want to run 3 ties there. I can also see the argument of just saying 2 ties. That's probably fine too, but we're going to go ahead and try out 3. Another card from the starter deck I forgot to mention for option cards is Legend Arms Alliance. This card is a 4 cost. This card's main effect says you may play 1 Digimon card with Legend Arms and its traits and a play cost of 7 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then place this card in your battle area. Then it has a delay effect. Reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Place those cards on the top of the bottom of your deck in any order, which is really, really good. We're going to just run 2 of these for now. It is a black and red, so you just keep that in mind. You will need black red to be on board in order to play this card. It also has a really good security effect here. If it gets checked in security, you can play a Digimon card with Legend Arms and its traits and a play cost of 7 or less in your hand without paying its memory cost. Then this plays into your battle area, which is really, really good too. The last card we're going to also choose to run here in this deck is going to be Direct Smasher. I like Direct Smasher for the reason that it's just a way to delete your opponent's Digimon in case you can't get the job done with your other Digimon, in case you're falling behind, in case they check this in security. Direct Smasher is really, really good as well. Alternatively, you can also choose Black Memory Boost. I really, really like Black Memory Boost in case you need a further search for certain cards. It gets checked in security. You can play this card on the battle area. Really, really nice. So that's going to go ahead and cover my deck profile video for RagnaLordmon. That's the look of it right now. Of course, it's open for change. Obviously, Direct Smasher, you don't necessarily need those in the deck if you feel like you don't need to, especially with RagnaLordmon's deletion effects. But there's a lot of other stuff going on in the deck that you might have to just kind of stall out, or just kind of like have some danger in your security, which is the reason why I run it. This is my current build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Obviously there's a lot of starter deck cards you're going to need, so maybe buying 2 starter decks or more will in fact help you with this build and get you going. So thank you everybody for watching. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and spread the love. BT10 is coming out next Friday, not this Friday but next Friday, so be sure to get in on those when we have pre-orders up later this week. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next deck profile video. Take care.